So you can be everything to everyone, or you can be something to someone, and you cannot be something to someone unless you're defined. Okay? If you get that part right, you will connect with somebody. If you do not, I don't care whether you've got the best medical hybrid green tech idea in the world, you will be failing, without a doubt. Why? If you don't know who you are, how the hell do we know? I mean, it actually staggers me. I sit there and I go, imagine spending $50, $100 million on marketing for people not to know anything about you. If you gave someone that an assignment, it'd be impossible. It'd be so hard to talk that much and just confuse people. Yet people get paid billions of dollars a year in marketing to do it. Okay, so if you don't tell us who you are, we don't know who you are, so we can't decide whether we like you or not, so we can't buy your product, we can't remain loyal, we can't share it with our friends, you don't make profit, you're out of business. It's as simple as that. So you better know who you are in the first place. And I'll just tell you, this is not easy. I have a blog, and at the top of the blog, I would write a subhead as to what the blog is about. And if anyone had followed it in the last 12 months, they would have noticed that that has changed about 12 times. Because you're in the shower, you're taking a dump, you're doing whatever you're doing, you have this epiphany. You're like, this is what I'm about. Okay? And you write it down, and then you kind of you put it there, and you go, no, it's not right. I don't know why, and I can't tell you why, and the words are right, but it's not right. And even myself, I found it a very difficult process to go through. So, as much as I say it's critical, it is difficult, but there's nothing more valuable than doing that self-examination. So, when it comes to values, what the hell does that mean? Look at that, I moved over. Values. Be human. That may sound so self-evident, but the brands that you like are human. For example, Apple. Why? Because it celebrates a recognition that we're human in the interface it creates. So, and secondly, you have to have emotions. You know, it was really interesting when Shaheen was talking about his brand, there was incredible congruence between who he was and what his brand is. He didn't feel like he had to approximate his brand, or his brand had to approximate him, because he was his brand. He was living that lifestyle. He was his marketing. And he was unconsciously doing the goal for every marketer out there, which is to achieve that congruency between who you are and how you're perceived as a brand. And then find your voix, find your voice, which is, even when brands sometimes know themselves, they don't even know how to talk. They don't even know how to communicate with others. And again, this goes back to being human, and this goes back to knowing what values inform what you're doing. So as I'm going through this, I want each of you to be thinking about your own brand, whether it's in construction, whether it's in medical, whether it's in green tech or whatever. Think of Telstra, think of all these different other companies that are taking off in your particular space, and see how well they satisfy these criteria, and see whether it relates at all to the success that they're having. Now when it comes to purpose, the third one, purpose is not what you get. This is what I'm talking about when I say get over yourself. Okay? It's not about what you're giving to the world, it's about what the world needs. I heard a wonderful expression the other day. When someone asks you a question, listen to what it's telling you, not what it's asking. When someone asks you a question, listen to what it's telling you, not what it's asking. Because the very fact it's a question will tell you there's an issue and opportunity in there, if you're one of the few people with the ability to hear it. And I'll tell you, the brands that succeed, as someone at South by Southwest was asking, like this whole branding process and everything like that, and they're asking about, if you've done this over and over and over again in the same markets and you start to see the patterns develop, so I guess you get to know the answers. You can listen to the problem and you go, oh, you can identify the answer. Well, it's like, no, you can never identify the answer, but you learn what to listen for. It's really, really important that you look at it through the lens of the consumer. What they're going to get from you rather than what you're going to give them. Why? Because it makes you meaningful and shareable to others. Everyone's probably noticed this social media thing is going on, pretty crazy. I saw in a presentation on China when I was in South by Southwest. Oh my God. They are not waiting for permission from the US. They are running with this. For example, the Ford Focus is the most talked about product on the internet in China. And there are tens of thousands of messages about the Ford Focus every day. Not just messages, There are nicknames for the car. For example, in Chinese, my little one. There are communities around my little one on different platforms under the umbrella of brand discussions across different social networks. And all the brands are still sitting there going, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this social media. I mean, just think about it. The consumer, the customer has moved on. It is so nuanced and so sophisticated and so granular out there already. So when you're thinking about your brand, think about the people who will be driving your success in the years to come. And it's not going to be you and your marketing team. It's going to be your ability to listen to what people are saying out there.